To ensure load-unloads of deep draft vessels, the Matarbari port is essential for Bangladesh and adjacent countries and areas. The Matarbari Deep Sea Port has a 16 meters depth that will help 16 meters draft vessels to unload their cargo at the terminal. At deep sea, currently, mother vessels unload the cargo at feeder's vessel and they carry the cargo to the Chittagong port. The present seaports, Chattogram Seaport and Mongla Seaport, of the country cannot handle huge containers and vessels, and the building of a deep seaport is the only solution. Chittagong port can't load-unload from more than 9.5-meter vessels. The channel built for the Matarbari coal-fired power plant would extend to the sea by deepening it so that 16-meter draft vessels with 8,000 TEU container capacity could berth. The country's first deep-sea port at Matarbari will follow models on the Japanese ports of Kashima and Niigata, and a feasibility study of the proposed port has already completed, said CPA chairperson Commodore Zulfikar Aziz. The government is planning to build a deep-sea port in Matarbari, Cox's Bazar, by using a facility of the Matarbari coal-fired power plant. The deep seaport will have a draft of 16 meters, where 350-meter-long vessels with a capacity of 8,000 TEU containers will berth. This is double the capacity of the Chittagong port. At present, 190-meter-long and 9.5-meter draft vessels can berth at the country's premier port, which can handle 3,500 to 3,800 TEU containers. It is forecasted that the existing container handling would rise from 5.7 million TEUs to 6.5 million TEUs, and the number of vessels would reach 8,200. The present seaports, Chittagong Seaport and Mongla Seaport, of the country cannot handle huge containers and vessels, and the building of a deep seaport is the only solution. Japan will give most of the required amount as a loan. Bangladesh government and the CPA will pay balance payment. This is an enterprise of the Bangladesh Naval Transportation Ministry and would be completed by 2026. There would be 2 terminals with road communication which would help big ships load and unload easily. The design and layout are Japanese designers made the design and layout. The Japanese organization involved is JICA. The deep seaport is because other Bangladesh seaports i.e., Chittagong and Mongla Port are not deep seaports. To ensure load-unload of deep draft vessels, the Matarbari port is essential for Bangladesh and adjacent countries and areas. Chittagong port can't load-unload from over 9.5-meter vessels. At deep sea, currently mother vessels unload the cargo at the feeder's vessel and they carry the cargo to the Chittagong port. It is very costly. The Matarbari Deep Sea Port has a 16 meters depth that will help 16 meters draft vessels to unload their cargo at the terminal. It will increase our country's cargo handling capacity cost-effectively. A 28-kilometer road will add to communicate well with the port, including 17 ports. It will enhance the supply chain management of the adjacent areas. The Matarbari Deep Sea Port can be a milestone to reconnect the Bay of Bengal with surrounding areas of Asia. Sea-linked before the countries like Myanmar, Bengal, Sri Lanka. But the creation of sovereign states such as Myanmar, Bangladesh, India, and Sri Lanka set impediments between the Bay of Bengal and surrounding states. Border disputes also help to isolate the Bay of Bengal from Japan, China, India, and Myanmar. New conditions created by Matarbari Deep Sea Port will help to develop the global supply chain and value chain. For South Asia, especially the sub-region of Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, and Nepal, BBIN, enhanced connectivity over land, air, and sea can bring about a sea change in the region's socio-economic growth potentials. Against this backdrop, diversification of communication and logistic infrastructures like building an additional seaport in the country's coastal belt will undoubtedly cushion a load of additional cargoes via Bangladesh and make the transit-cum transshipment arrangements more viable and cost-effective. Bangladesh currently boasts of 3 seaports, of which Chattogram Port alone caters to around 92% of the country's trade cargo via the Bay of Bengal. Of these, Mongla has witnessed a gradual growth over the past 10 years, currently accounting for about 7.0% of the seaborne cargo, while Pera is still in a preparatory stage with some question marks regarding its long-term viability. Landlocked Nepal and Bhutan as well as the northeastern states of India would get a huge fillip in logistics and connectivity if they could use the sea routes via Bangladeshi seaports. With the Japanese International Cooperation Agency, JICA, Funding TK 132.53 billion out of the total estimated project cost of TK 185.80 billion. The void of a deep seaport is poised to be filled by 2026.